Good evening. I'm Rocco Swartz of AHS-TV, and on tonight's episode of Best of the Nest, we take a look at what it's like to perform many aspects that come together to create a high school musical. Let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Miley Lorgan of AHS-TV, and tonight on Best of the Nest, we will be talking to the lead roles of the recently performed musical at AHS, Grease, the school version. Hannah Spurl and Logan Badak, welcome to the Nest. Thank you for joining us today. To start things off, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Logan Badak. I'm a senior, and I played the role of Danny Zuko in Grease.
And I'm Hannah Spurl. I'm also a senior, and I played the role of Sandy Dombrowski in Grease.
How many musicals have you guys been in throughout your career of acting?
This was my second musical.
I've been in a little bit more. I've been in about, I think, 8 or 9 musicals.
What roles have you played in those musicals?
My last 3 that I've been in, I played Sophie in Mamma Mia, Marion in The Music Man, and then Sandy in Grease.
I was in the Barbershop Quartet in The Music Man, and then Danny this year in Grease.
Which role that you've played in has been your favorite?
I'd have to say Danny, just being able to take on the responsibility of a lead role and live up to such an icon was a blessing for me.
I would either have to say Marion or Sandy. I loved Marion because it was definitely a challenge for me. It was really hard to get into that character, and I loved challenging myself with that. But then Sandy was just awesome because it's just an iconic role, and it's like everyone's dream to be able to play Sandy.
What do you think about the musical Grease this year?
Me? How it was as a cast, or?
Just all around, just the whole show.
The whole show. It was definitely the most fun, definitely musical I've ever been in. I've been in a lot, and they all have different unique things about them. But this one was just so fun. It was the largest cast I've ever been in, 80 people, and I just think the amount of people and everyone's personalities mixing together, it was just like a ball of energy every time you walked in to the musical.
Yeah, Grease being such an iconic show, I think it was nice how we were all able to capture pure joy for what it brings to the table, and we were able to get the best out of everybody.
What musical do you think Armstrong will do next year?
Ooh, that's a tough one. A lot of people are asking that question. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things, but I want to say Anastasia. I don't know why. I think that. Or Into the Woods. Into the Woods is my second option. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling.
I'm not a big musical person, but I think Hello Dolly's a good one. Or Legally Blonde, maybe.
Yes. What has been what was your favorite scene from Grease?
Hand jive. That's what opened up Act 2. It was just, I just remember learning the dance for the first time, and I got to do that with Logan, and it was just so fun, just watching everyone just totally get out of their comfort zones, and it was just so fun. I love that scene.
I'd have to agree with Hannah, not just because of hand jive, but Shake It Out the High School Hop was, I think, easily the best dance in the whole show, and everybody in it did a great job. As well as the acting, there was a lot of good moments in that scene between Eugene and Roger, Vince and Miss Lynch.
Miss Lynch.
But as a whole, from top to bottom, the dance scene was probably the best.
Tell us a bit about the process that takes you from table to the final product.
Oh, okay. So it's always a struggle, for sure, starting out the show. Everyone has no clue how to get into character, and there was a lot of new faces this year. Everyone was new to musical, so it's always a struggle, learning how to do that, learning how to adjust, learning how to work with people as a family and a team. But once you get going and you start practicing all the time, working with these people every day, it just becomes natural.
I think from the table read, we got to understand how we were going to act, what we were going to have to do, and work together to figure things out. But you could just see the progression slowly pick up mid-January, and things progressed along very well, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Who surprised you the most, when they first started singing and just in general?
What would you have to say?
I think for sure Max Romani, because we pressured him a lot to come out of his comfort zone and sing in front of people, and it took him a while, but once he did, he brought the house down. Not just for us watching him sing, but the audience loved him,
Oh,
and
for
his
sure.
song was incredible.
Yeah.
I was thinking Max. I was also thinking Cece Bowser. She's been in musicals as long as I have, and she's a phenomenal singer, but I feel like people don't know that about her because she doesn't put herself out there. And when she does, she's a phenomenal performer, amazing singer, so good at what she does.
Out of all the musicals that you have seen, who is your just all-time favorite character?
So my favorite musical is Wicked. I've probably seen that like a million times on Broadway. And my favorite character from it would have to be Glinda. She's just such a fun character. And then Elphaba, and she's like such a strong vocalist. I just like aspire like to be like both of them if I would ever like continue shows. But
I'm not gonna have a good answer here, so I'm just gonna go with Marcellus Washburn from the musical. From the shows I've seen, Buddy Hackett did a great job in the original production, and my good friend Landon Johnson was able to capture that. He was incredible last year.
you would like that answer, yeah.
A huge thank you to Logan Badak and Hannah Sparrow for joining us today to get the Hawk's Eye view on the AHS Grease musical, the school version. Now let's go to Caden, who is talking with some of our members of stage crew for Grease, the musical.
Thanks, Miley. For those of you just joining us, I'm Caden Hankey of AHS-TV, and I'm now joined by Hannah Taylor and Adrian Kessler to talk about their experiences running stage crew for the AHS musical Grease school version. Thank you for joining us today. Could you guys please introduce yourself?
I'm Hannah Taylor.
I'm Adrian Kessler.
And how long have you been doing stage crew for the musicals?
I have been doing it for 3 years, and this is my second year as stage crew manager.
This is my first year.
What are your favorite things about stage crew?
I really like how throughout the year we all really get super close because we are like always together. We really just become like a big like knit family, and we all really know how to work together.
Yeah, the friendships you make, that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah, the friendships must be really cool. I've seen a lot just from like knowing people who are in this musical and stage crew together. Like they will, throughout the musical, they slowly become closer and closer together, and they do more things. I think it's pretty cool.
No, we definitely all become really close. Even
Yeah.
like crew and cast, we all build friendships.
Yeah.
Inside jokes.
Yeah.
Is there anything you dislike?
I think some things that are just like hard to deal with, or some people just don't listen as well as others, and I feel like it is also hard, like me being like the stage crew manager, people think I have this like leg up, which I try not to have, but sometimes I get mad at people because they just like don't listen very well.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a lot of drama and people don't want to do things. They just want to stand.
Yeah, that can happen over here too sometimes with people not cooperating. It can be a struggle, but how do you guys think the operations went this year?
I think they go pretty smoothly. At the beginning, in like January, once we start really blocking, before stage crew even gets there, I start writing down every single set piece that needs to be out. And then from there, it's really easy to just have people run out and get stuff.
From what Hannah says, she said it went really good with people working out, so I'm just going to trust her.
I'm glad it went pretty smoothly this year. I ended up watching it 3 times for filming it, and I think every single show you guys did amazing. Like even just the stage crew quickly getting all the sets out and the actors, everybody did great. In what ways do you think stage crew helps provide for the musical?
I feel like it's kind of just like we're there for the cast too, because I feel like, so most of the scenes, the cast has quick changes.
Yeah.
So without the stage crew being to get there, these like changes would take forever to get done if like there was no crew to move stuff.
That's very interesting. What about you?
Just,
Just
she
same
kind of said
thing?
it all.
Yeah, just a lot of quickly getting things done so that the play can move on nicely. How about practices for you guys?
I think Adrian should answer that one because I don't really move stuff that often.
Sometimes it can either go really good or like someone will be having an off day and then it goes real bad real quick. And then it's kind of like everyone, sometimes it's a little cliquey and then people are talking off and it's, I don't know, people just don't want to do things sometimes.
What was, like in your opinion, what was the hardest set to create?
I think they all were very hard in their own ways. I worked mostly on the bedroom scene, and I feel like I really had to get those lines perfect, so that was definitely one of the hardest ones for me to work on.
What about you?
I didn't really see a lot of the building, so just gotta trust her.
All right. So, Hannah, what is Tech Week like?
So Tech Week is, for the people that don't know, we like go every day after school and we run the show completely through in full makeup, hair, moving sets, everything. So I feel like for stage crew, this is really when they get to realize what is hardest to move, what takes the longest, and how they can properly get it out in time, which it can get a little stressful, but I think they manage pretty well.
What are the times that you do that?
Oh, normally we start at like 5 p.m. and then this year we got out pretty early at like 9:30, I think. So it wasn't as long as normal.
So it takes up like your entire
Yeah,
evening.
yeah. You get like 2 hours off.
Yeah. How does that like impact like a work life if you have that, or like just being yourself?
I took off work for like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Just because I had to be there like every single practice. I try to give stage crew off though sometimes. Like if they don't have to be there, I'm like, guys, don't come.
Right.
But I think for me, I think it's pretty easy to like figure it out now since I've been doing this for a while. But
Yeah.
you figure it out.
What about you? How was it for you?
It wasn't that bad. I'm used to staying up late, so it didn't like affect me. The only thing was that my dad had just started a new job, so his sleep hours were kind of cut because I can't drive.
Yeah.
So it just kind of more affected him than me.
Yeah, impacted the whole family just because of stage crew. It's pretty cool though. In what ways do you think stage crew might be a little underrated by others? Like, do you feel like you're not noticed as much?
I think we do get a good bit of recognition, but I also feel like there are some times where it can be taken for granted because when you look at this, like from an audience perspective, you're not really seeing stage crew, you're just seeing cast and what they do. So, but backstage, it's all stage crew keeping it together. So I think without them, the show would probably not go as smoothly.
Yeah, I second that. And also, I think a lot of people don't realize like the amount of work that it takes, even just like organizing things backstage and then moving it all on in like a timely manner. People just don't see how that is rough.
I don't think it helps that you guys wear all black so you can't be noticed.
Yeah, no, that is true, but that is the point for us not to be
Right.
seen.
What about next year? You both are juniors, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So are you gonna go back to stage crew or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
kinda
do
figured
enjoy
you
it.
would.
I mean, it is a lot, but I do enjoy it. By the
Support
end,
my
I'm
queen,
like,
Hannah.
I do cry. Every year, last show, I bawl.
So
Less this year.
Yeah.
what are you planning on doing next year to like make stage crew better?
Honestly, I think this year was pretty good compared to like earlier years. Like last year was my first year as manager and it definitely was not the best it could have been. But I think this year I really figured out how to communicate properly and get my point across and be able to like communicate with everyone efficiently. So I think I might just like do the same things. I think one thing that I could do better on is like I make a Google Doc of like everything and I kind of just stopped working on it at a point. So I think it'll be better if I just keep doing that.
Right. Is there anything you'd like to say, like advertise stage crew for people who aren't really sure?
I think it is. It's a good opportunity. It's really fun to get out there and just like do something else, like if you don't do a lot. And if you're too scared to actually get on the cast, maybe this is a good way to start because you're getting comfortable with like the stage and everything and you really just get to learn everyone.
Just go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Just go out there and do it, guys.
Make some friends.
Yeah, make some friends and have some fun while you do it. So to wrap things up, would you rather stage crew be really popular or like a really small amount of people?
I think really small. Our group this year was what, 10 people? I think is all we
Yeah.
were. And I feel like it was really nice because we all were able to like be together and talk and like just get together. And I feel like the cast is so popular, it like evens out.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hannah Taylor and Adrian Kessler for joining us today to get a hawk's eye view on the behind the scenes of the AHS musical Grease school version. Now to Miley Lorgan, who will be speaking with some of the principal actors of Grease, school version.
Your future beckons, calling from a place where there's plenty of room to grow, where possibilities are abundant, where you'll be challenged every day to uncover the best version of you, where you can blossom. The place, IUP. Here, like the clusters of oaks in our renowned oak grove, we're united in helping you reach new heights. Ready to heed the call? Get in the grove at IUP.
Thanks, Caden. Hello, I'm Miley Lorgan of AHS-TV, and I'm joined by Gabriella Pock and Landon Johnson from Grease, the school version. Welcome to the Nest. Thank you guys for joining us today. To start things off, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Landon Johnson. I'm a senior here at AHS, and I played the role of Kaniki in Grease.
I'm Gabrielle Pock. I am a junior at Armstrong High School, and I played Betty Rizzo in our newest production of Grease.
How many musicals have you guys been in throughout your acting career?
I've been in 3 musicals.
I have been in 2.
What roles have you played in those musicals?
In Mamma Mia, I was Lisa, one of Sophie's friends. In The Music Man, I was Eulalie McKechnie Shin. And in Grease, I was Betty Rizzo.
In The Music Man last year, I was Marcellus Washburn, and then this year for Grease, I was Kaniki.
Which role have you played that's been your favorite?
I really liked Lisa a lot, but I would have to say I felt most connected to Rizzo.
I would definitely say that Kaniki was my favorite role I've had to play.
What do you think about the musical Grease this year?
I think that we did really good with it, and I think that it was one of the most fun musicals that we could have done, and I think that we killed it.
I think it was the most fitting for our cast. We definitely had a really talented cast this year, and there were a lot of people, which made it so much fun.
What musical do you think that we will do next year?
I would like to see them do Footloose, because I think that we have the dancing abilities to do so.
Oh gosh, I don't know what musical we'll do next year. I really like Legally Blonde, but I know Hello Dolly's a good one too, so it's really up in the air.
What was your favorite scene from Grease?
Oh, it had to be the hand jive scene. Just dancing with the atmosphere was so much fun.
Yes, I would have to agree. The whole gym scene, hand jive, it was a fun one.
Tell us a bit about the process that takes you from table read to the final production.
I definitely think that the more we did the scenes and over again, I think that people started to realize how it went and what they needed to do to make it better, and then every time we did it, each thing got better and fixed, and by the end,
For sure.
have a product.
Yeah, I feel like when you get the script, it's kind of just, it's words on paper. You can't envision the whole final product, but then once you start doing the dances and reading the lines and singing, it comes together pretty well.
Yeah. Who surprised you the most when they first started singing?
I would say that Hunter Cogley definitely surprised me the most, because I've been in chorus class with him, but I did not know that he could sing like that, which really was surprising. He's amazing.
I'd have to agree. Hunter Cogley, and then Max Romani did really good. I did not know that he had pipes like that.
Out of the musicals you have seen, who is your favorite character?
Oh man, favorite character
Just of all time.
of all time of our musicals.
No, any musical.
Oh, my goodness. I would have to say, Teen Angel, probably.
I'd have to say I'd say Danny Zuko, because I've watched a couple different Greases, and I love that character. That or the Phantom. The Phantom is such a dynamic character, and it's so cool to watch how people do them.
Yes. Lastly, what is your all-time favorite musical?
My favorite musical would probably be Wicked. I love Wicked. My aunt was just in it on Broadway, and I went to see it, and it was absolutely amazing. But I also really like Mamma Mia, so it's a tie there.
I would have to say probably Mamma Mia would be my favorite, just because the music's great, the atmosphere is great, and I love watching it.
A huge thank you to Landon and Gabby for joining us today to get the Hawk's Eye view on the AHS musical Grease, the school version. Now let's go to Chloe, who's talking with some of our members of the pit orchestra in for Grease the Musical School Edition.
Thanks, Miley. For those of you just joining us, I'm Chloe Ward of AHS-TV, and I am now joined by Haley Sellers and Zoe Shoup to talk about their experiences in the pit orchestra for the AHS musical Grease School Version. Can you briefly introduce yourselves and explain your role in the pit orchestra of the school musical?
Yeah. I'm Haley Sellers. I am a senior right now. I played the tenor saxophone in the pit. I was on second part.
I'm Zoe Shoup, and I am also a senior, and I also played tenor sax too in the pit.
How long have you been playing your instrument, and what made you choose it?
I've been playing the tenor sax for about 4 years, and I chose it because I really didn't want to play clarinet in the marching band.
This is actually my first time playing tenor saxophone, but I've been playing saxophone since fourth grade, and I chose it because I could get a free one.
Have you ever performed in a pit orchestra before? If so, what was your experience like?
I did. Last year I played in Music Man, and I played the clarinet and the bass clarinet. I personally liked it more because I was on like my main instrument, if that makes sense.
I was also in the Music Man for the pit, and I played Barry's sax for that one. And I liked last year more because Barry is my main instrument like Haley, and also the parts were just more interesting for me.
Which show have you liked best and why?
I personally liked Mamma Mia the most. I know it's like a basic answer, but I was on soundboard then, and it was just so cool seeing how everything worked.
I really liked Music Man because I was in stage crew for Mamma Mia, and I didn't really like doing that. But Music Man had really fun parts for my saxophone, so that's why I like that one the most.
How did you prepare yourself for performance in the school musical?
We had to practice on our like own time, but we also did like group rehearsals on Thursdays?
Fridays.
Yeah,
I basically had the same like process as Haley did.
Did you have any specific challenges?
soloing and all the sharps in the music. I am so bad at soloing. It's just hard to come up with the rhythms on your own.
The sharps and the flats, and also just playing together. Like,
yeah, that was a big part.
real.
We weren't really that balanced.
Oh, and we also had to like take a bunch of like the really high stuff down because like it just sounded bad because we weren't used to playing that.
How do you work together with the other members of the pit orchestra to create a cohesive musical performance?
Whenever you have 4 tenor saxophones and there's only 2 parts, you really have to like lower your volume kind of because the parts are doubled. So it was like kind of hard because we had to like create a round sound, but sometimes it was like you play louder than the person next to you, and that doesn't create an equal balance.
We also really had to listen to each other more because
The tonation.
yeah, intonation was really bad sometimes. And like, I don't know, sometimes people have a thing where they need to be like louder than the other person. I don't think that happened very much, but like it's like a subconscious thing.
How do you communicate with the conductor and the cast during rehearsals and performances?
We don't communicate with the cast. We communicate only with the conductor, which was Mr. Rybar. He, you just look up whenever you're playing the music, and he gives you cues and stuff whenever there's certain parts in the cast.
And like if we had a problem, we would like ask him, and then he would ask the cast.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered any difficulties in coordinating with other musicians or the cast? How did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think I've had difficulties coordinating with the musicians personally because we don't really deal with the cast much. It wasn't like, we just communicated about it and everything was better. So it wasn't like horrible.
Yeah, I'll just second what Haley said.
What are some of the most challenging musical sections or moments in the school musical, and how did you overcome those challenges?
The only thing, what was that one song with a lot of sharps? Do you remember? I'll just say the whole book. The whole book had a lot of sharps. And that was like the only hard part that I kind of had.
I think the hardest part for me was like playing above the staff because it had like all those weird side keys that I'm not used to playing.
I just took it down.
Are there any specific techniques or skills you've had to develop or improve upon for this performance?
Yeah, I have a marching band kind of tone whenever I play a saxophone, so I really had to tone everything down, and because I do normally play bass clarinet or clarinet, my embouchure was a little off from the saxophone, so that's one thing I had to work on for this.
I had to learn how to play tenor saxophone because like bari saxophone, it's similar, but it takes a lot more air and your embouchure is different. So for a little bit I was playing tenor like a bari and it did not sound good.
What do you enjoy most about performing in the pit orchestra for a school musical?
I just think it's fun to perform. I love performing, so whenever I'm given this opportunity, I really like to just take it, just for the fun.
I really like that the music is way different than like anything else we play in band or like anything in school. And I think it's really fun to play with the cast singing as well and like to hear them like mix.
Have you faced any unexpected situations or mishaps during a performance? How did you handle them?
Yeah, I think the first performance we had this solo that no one came in on, where it was just like this certain part and none of us played. I don't really think anyone noticed it, but there was a part where we just didn't play.
Yeah, that happened.
We just come in whenever we have to again.
Yeah. What advice would you give to other high school students who are interested in joining the pit orchestra for school musical?
I just say go for it. Like, ask Mr. Vaneski or Mr. Rybar about it. Usually they come up to you and ask you, but if you really, really want to get that opportunity, I would just say go for it.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Haley. Like, that's the only way you can go about it, I guess. Like, they won't just, like, you won't just get in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back at your experience, what have you learned or gained from being a part of the pit orchestra?
For Music Man, I learned the higher register of the clarinet, like, really well. And it's just, like, rhythms and stuff that I don't normally see because I'm a bass line player. So it helps me go farther in line than where I am right now.
It got me way more comfortable with, like, accidentals because I don't see a lot of them in normal music. So it was just, like, a nice new thing.
Is there anything else you would like to share about your experience performing in the pit orchestra for the school musical?
No, I just think it's an amazing opportunity and something that I'm very happy I get to experience.
I agree with Haley, and I think if you have, like, the interest in it, I think you should try to, like, get that opportunity as well.
I agree.
As you're both graduating, what are your plans for the future?
I'm actually going into the Army National Guard to play in the band there. And then I plan on going to IUP or Westchester to pursue music education.
I'm going to IUP for biology or chemistry, and I'll hopefully be in some of the bands there.
Thank you to Haley Sellers and Zoe Shoup for joining us today to get the Hawk's Eye view on pit orchestra of the AHS musical Grease School Version.
Well, that's our show for this week. Best of the Nest is produced by TV production students at Armstrong High School. If you'd like to see the AHS musical in its entirety, please feel free to visit our YouTube page, www.youtube.com/@AHS-TV. In addition to our talented guest, we'd like to thank WIUP-TV for airing this episode of Best of the Nest. Until next time, from our nest to yours, have a great week.